Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of Business Research Methods. Today we are going to start the 7th lecture of BRM, and the lecture is about hypothesis development. In this lecture we will study that what is hypothesis and how we can develop the hypothesis. Dear students, if you notice, here we have the word hypothesis. Hypothesis simply means when you have multiple hypotheses, many hypotheses. It is the plural of hypothesis, so that is pronounced as hypothesis. And when you have a single hypothesis, a single assumption, so that is pronounced as hypothesis. Hypothesis. When you have SIS, that is hypothesis, a single hypothesis development. And when you have multiple, so then it is SES, hypothesis. So now the core concept of this lecture, lecture number 7, that is about the hypothesis development. Here we will study that how we will develop the hypothesis. What are the major steps in the development of hypothesis? Already we have numerically studied clear in a subject, statistical subject, in French stats. Altamunga the tool study kadi hamdi to hypothesis sitaway. No delta lecture number 7 ke we shall try our level best to explain the concept of hypothesis or the development of hypothesis theoretically in detail. सब कोशिश कोमा चाहिए एग्जांपल पर थ्रू जता सुरा द हाइपोथेसिस डेवलपमेंट थ्योरेटिकल एक्सप्लेन कमा बिया दिन पास इंशाल्लाह चकम स्टैटिस्टिकल अप्रोच दे चकम पैरामीटर्स वगैरह बमुंगा इस्तेफादा को अब जर इंशाल्लाह रवान लेक्चर के बसता सुरा स्टैटिस्टिकल नोटेशन सारा क्लियर कमा नो लेक्चर नंबर 7 के मुंग सिर्फ और सिर्फ हाइपोथेसिस या हाइपोथेसिस डेवलपमेंट गुरु थ्योरेटिकली. सेकंड चीज देखिए बमुंगा डिफरेंट टाइप्स क्लियर और फॉर्मेट्स ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस गुरु चे आया यो हाइपोथेसिस पर कमी तरीकों में निकल की डिफरेंट वेज कम दी और बिया व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस चाहे मुंग सरा डिफरेंट रकमों ने चली बुरा कल हम चिमुंगा हाइपोथेसिस खबर को व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द वर्ड हाइपोथेसिस. सो बेसिकली व्हाट डज इट मीन कजता सो द सिंपल वे में चे हाइपोथेसिस से दे. सो देयर आर सो मेनी डेफिनेशंस ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस. यो डेफिनेशन दा वे hypothesis is a logical relationship between two or more variables expressed in the form of a testable statement. Different definitions in the hypothesis. Your definition that way, hypothesis today, hypothesis is simply that is a connection. It explains the connection between two or more variables when these variables are in a testable statement. Now I want to explain the definition into detail. It is a logical relationship between two variables. Awal kho da mung ta pata da what is variables. Already we have studied the different types of variables. Mung sara dependent variable kam yode, mung sara independent variable kam yode. We have the moderating variable, we have the intervening variables. Us variables da yaw bal sara sarangi connected di. Is it? Connected delta simply means that how variables are interconnected with one another logically. मतलब चे देख के relationship तरंगे दे. If last time तासो तयादी तासो में आखिरा के यो example clear करे हुआ चिकम के communication सैशुरा and air safety violation दा यो बल सरा connected हो. नो उस गुरा चे communication चुरा बस सिवा की गी और सासो air violation चे कम दे दहा decrease की. So it means communication is increasing. So air violation is decreasing. It means that both variables are indirectly connected. They have a logical relationship between two variables. One was communication and one was air safety violation. सही हुआ? लेकिन ज़्यादा सुता हुआ है माँ जो चोरा जमा interest सिवा की ओरा जमा learning हम सिवा की. अब interest is a one variable. Learning is another variable. Both clear are connected with one another, and that connection today it has a logical connection, and this logical connection is known as logical relationship. That when my interest is increasing, definitely my learning will also be increasing. It means that learning and interest, these are logically connected. So this logical is known as the relationship between two variables, is it? So one is increasing, another is also increasing. It means two variables are interconnected. It has a logical relationship, and that relationship is a direct relationship. Now when two variables are logically connected with one another and they are under the statement of testable statements. What is testable statements? Testable statements simply means aga statements che kam munga statistically measure kawal wadu. Like as it suppose che interest and learning both are correlated. Now their correlation is greater than 0. या mu is greater than, for example, let's suppose 0. No chekala hum de tar month ki relationship 0 na sewa de, it means they are correlated. If 0 na kam de, minus ke de, they are negative correlated. So these are the statements which are testable statements. No zakada wahi hypothesis de. Hypothesis simply these are the testable statements, and these statements are relevant to the variables. मतलब चेकला हम variables यो बल सरा connect शुवी अगुई तरमंस की यो logical relationship ही और दगा logical relationship चेकला मुंगा यो testable शक्ल के test कवल वाडू with the help of the statistical tools या mathematical models. Such assumption is known as your hypothesis. Or in other words, we can simply say hypothesis or hypothesis, these are simply the educated guesses, and these guesses are about the variables, that how variables are logically interconnected with one another. So such assumptions that where we test the hypothesis is known as your hypothesis or hypothesis development. So in other words, we can say a proposition. Proposition means a connections, the interrelation that is empirically testable. Empirically means numerically, the thing which we can easily test with the help of the statistical tools. It is an empirical statement concerned with the relationship among variables. Like for example, average level of motivation of men and average level of motivation of women. मतलब दो group रवाले. Your group रवाले the men, your group रवाले the women, male or female. जवायमा the दो group men or women, they average motivation के इस फर्क हम नश्ता दे. Both are equal. It simply means that average mu of men that is equal to average mu of women. Both are equal. It means men and women motivation level chikam de, that is a variable. Uzawayama che dwara genders motivation ke fark nashta de equal di. So mean average of men it must be equal to average of women. Both are equal. So what I am doing, that is a statement which empirically I am going to test. che dwaro motivation dwaro genders motivation level ke fark nashta de ya mu m minus mu woman equal to 0 sechura dwaro terms ke sechura relationship chikam de aga sifar de. It means that is empirically testable statement. So hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now before starting the next thing che hypothesis development ki gisanga, let me first highlight a proper process. Hypothesis bumung sanga generate ko. Good students, madalta yo example likhe le de, it will make your idea full clear. But before starting the hypothesis development, let me explain the process of hypothesis development. Gura dris izuna yaad saate. Kala hum che hypothesis munga judo. Say sure theoretically dalta guru. No akhi process sare. Number 1 is tolo na pera literature review study da. Once che literature review munga study ukrala, no mungo choku we have to identify our variables. Che zamung kom variable thi matlab what are our dependent variables, what are our independent variables, what will be our moderating variables, and what will be our intervening variable. Say sure. No literature review na first we have to identify our variables. Che kala variables identify shi, so then we have to make the logical relationship. And the study of logical relationship is simply known as your theoretical framework. Already तेरे lecture okay theoretical framework मताफला identify करे हम दे. जे संगा वो अवल variable identify की और ब्याह वो संगा variable यो बल सरा connect की. देखो logically that is known as theoretical framework. Once theoretical framework is identified, next you have to make schematic diagram. Da kam चित्ता सुता दा जोड़ दा सही हुआ दा गुरा this diagram is simply known as your schematic diagram. नो गुरा three process थी this step अदी. Number 1 literature review study की. Literature review na variables identify की. चिकला वेरिएबल्स आइडेंटिफाई शो नेक्स्ट स्टेप तारा शे एंड दैट इज थ्योरेटिकल फ्रेमवर्क सही शोरा लॉजिकली यो बल सर कनेक्ट की टोल वेरिएबल्स और ब्या अगोई स्कीमेटिक डायग्राम जोड़ दी ब्या द्रियम स्टेप दा दे चिकला स्कीमेटिक डायग्राम जोड़ शो लका संग तासो स्लाइड की गोरी लगे द ब्लू वन चिकम दे सही शो देन अपास यू हैव टू डेवलप रिसर्च क्वेश्चन चिकला जोड़ शी ब्या आफ्टर रिसर्च क्वेश्चन वी हैव टू मेक क्लियर द हाइपोथेसिस डेवलपमेंट Three step of process there. Hypothesis development. Study of the literature review to identify the variables. Once the variables are identified, now logically connect the variables, which is known as theoretical framework. Best schematic diagram जोड़ गई. Once schematic diagram जोड़ शो, the next thing is research question develop गई. Once research question develop शो, now we are able in the fourth step to make hypothesis development. उस पे भी आऊँगा hypothesis develop को. Now the overall process चिकम दे. Now I would like to explain with the help of example. It will make inshallah your idea fully clear. Ma book na yo example rawa khasam. Awal literature review ma study karo. Variables ma pa ke identify karo. No ma sara taso guri there are total 5 variables. One is known as job enrichment. Another is known as rewards. One is known as attraction of rewards. Next we have employee satisfaction. And next I have organizational performance. Matlab output. Now once I studied the literature review, I identified clear total 5 variables. Now then I make a theoretical framework. Theoretical framework means I identified that how these variables are interconnected with one another. मतलब theoretical framework के मादा concept clear करो कि आया हर यो variable सारा सारंगे connected दे. Is it? चिकला logical relationship में clear करो, then मा यो diagram जोड़ करो. And this diagram is known as schematic diagram. Safe? And now this slide contains the schematic diagram. Is it? Uskura that is tasara job enrichment. Or that is tasara reward. Now job enrichment and reward both are known as your independent variables. जबकि the organizational performance चिकम दे that tasara dependent variable दे. मतलब organizational performance depend upon on your job enrichment and employee rewards. Now that's tasara independent variable show or that's tasara dependent variable show. Now in between dependent and independent variables we have 2 further variables. Yo this tasara employee satisfaction. Ab employee satisfaction is acting clear as a mediating variable. चिकम तमुंगा intervening variable हम वही. और ब्या दलता attraction of rewards चिकम दे it is also a variable लेकिन that is acting as a moderating variable. Is it? No that's तासुसरा schematic diagram जोड़ शो. अब now पर this schematic diagram माने I would like to make research question. सही शो? दे माने the research question develop कोमा. नो गोरा already मा develop करे दी. Just तासु से पारा clear कोमा. चो गोरा does job enrichment and rewards influence the performance? No gora da question में अंदर तनक कैरी करी दी that's a नवी does job enrichment and rewards सही शोरा influence organizational performance सही शोरा अंदर तन में कैरी करे दे मतलब आया शुरू के मास रास्ता हुए कि organizational performance is basically depends on the 2 independent variables. No मतलब does job enrichment या rewards it will influence organizational performance या दा क्वेश्चन मुकबले तरीका किम कवले शू कि does organizational performance really depends upon on job enrichment and rewards. So what different types तासो क्वेश्चन कवले शी different sort of. ब्या मुका नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मादा जोड़ कर दे does the satisfaction मतलब employee satisfaction intervenes the relationship between rewards and performance. सही हुआ नुगुरा दलता द्रिव variables दी यो तासो सरा satisfaction दे सही हुआ employee satisfaction that is working as an intervene mediating variable and between reward and performance नु दलता राशि तासो दा गोरा दा वही reward दा दागा दे here is your reward independent variable and here your performance dependent variable. आया organizational performance that depend कई पर reward माने and in between the one independent and another dependent variable employee satisfaction is working as an intermediating variable yeah mediating variable such as intervening variable. No simply aya employee satisfaction the as a intermediating या intervening variable कार कई between rewards and performance वले चिकला हम reward सिवा की सही हुआ no employee satisfaction बसिवा की तर सो पूरे एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फाइड दे और पूरे बाकी परफॉर्मेंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल परफॉर्मेंस अब डेर खई इट मीन्स दैट इज अ टेम्पररी इफेक्ट सही छुआ नो जका दैट इज एक्टिंग एज अ इंटरवीनिंग वेरिएबल बिया मुगा दाम वेले शू चे आया एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फैक्शन इज intervening या mediating between the job enrichment and organizational performance. The third question, does employee satisfaction intervenes the relationship between job enrichment and performance? Fourth question da ki deshi, does attractiveness of the reward moderate the relationship between reward and satisfaction? Uskura dalta attractiveness of the reward matlab reward attractiveness, it is working as a moderating variable. A moderating variable between what? Between satisfaction, employee satisfaction, and between reward. No, dalta ugri. Let me explain. Sorry, slide reward oma. Ha, da guri. Reward and employee satisfaction. सही हुआ दे टर्म्स के मुंह से जो बल वेरिएबल दे अट्रैक्शन फॉर रिवार्ड्स नो उस अट्रैक्शन ऑफ रिवार्ड्स फॉर एम्प्लॉइज दैट इज एक्टिंग एज अ मॉडरेट वेरिएबल मॉडरेट माता उससे पहले हम वीडियो च मॉडरेट इज एक्टिंग एज अ रेगुलेटर अगर संग चे पकी रेगुलेटर देखना स्पीड च मुंग सेवा को नो रेगुलेटर सही हुआ दे तमुंग वही बेसिकली रेगुलेटर रेगुलेटर मींस सही हुआ दा चे दे एज अ रेगुलेटर एज अ स्पीड अप दे पारा कार की जो सूरत ज्यादा ही सही हुआ सेवा कई नो और चकम दे दे इफेक्टम सेवा की नो उस रिवार्ड्स चे दे दा चे सूरत सेवाशी इज इट लेकिन दे अट्रैक्शन फॉर द रिवार्ड दा हम जरूरी दे नो चे रिवार्ड सेवा की एंड अट्रैक्शन ऑफ द रिवार्ड मॉडरेटिंग वेरिएबल सही हुआ एक्ट बिटवीन एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फैक्शन एंड रिवार्ड नो द टोटल क्वेश्चन इज चिकम दे सही हुआ दा मदल तन उकड़ले सही हुआ नो गुरा अवल मासू उकड़ला आई स्टडी द लिटरेचर रिव्यू identified the dependent, independent, moderating, intervene variable. Then I made a theoretical framework. Logically, I connected all the variables. Then I make a diagram, schematic diagram. Bia pagi mane dream step ki ma question ukrale, and all these are the questions. Anda ka diagram na ma kadi di. Us taso tamawe che fourth step se che once research questions are identified, now we can develop the hypothetical statements. Yeah, now we can develop the hypothesis statements. Us munga hypothesis juda wale shu. No anda ka chikka me question ma kadi di. Andina zeta sula hypothesis juda hua. Now look at here. Now hypothesis. Hypothesis dam aate ko dir judi ma sirf dri jod kadi di just to make your idea clear. Number hypothesis number 1. HA mean hypothesis. Sure, number 1. Job enrichment leads to higher job satisfaction. मतलब जिस सूरा job enrichment वो सेवा की the employee. सही हुआ जॉब इनरिचमेंट होता आपको पता था ना जॉब इनरिचमेंट सिंपली मीन्स दैट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सेवा की सही है स्कोप हम सेवा की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और अथॉरिटी हम जॉब की सेवा की नो जिसोरा जो एम्प्लॉय जॉब इनरिचमेंट सेवा की इट विल लीड टू द जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन मतलब देयर इज इंक्रीज in the job enrichment of the employee, definitely there will be increase in the job satisfaction of employees. That your hypothesis show. Uskura, that is the confirmed nada. It's a hypothetical statement. It can be true, it can be false. I don't know. सही हुआ लेकिन that is the statement which I have to study, which I have to test. No da ma khabara ukrala gora khpal question na da me find out ro je sura job enrichment सेवा कीगी और employee job satisfaction हम सेवा कीगी अब da से da your hypothetical statement है सही हुआ इट्स अ लॉजिकल स्टेटमेंट वाले चीज़ के दो वेरिएबल्स थी यो द जॉब एनरिचमेंट और यो द जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन और पूरा दो वेरिएबल्स थी दी कनेक्शन से दे जॉब एनरिचमेंट सही हुआ सेवा कीगी न जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन हम सेवा कीगी इट मीन्स दोड़ा कोरिलेटेड थी सही हुआ पॉजिटिव कोरिलेटेड थी डायरेक्ट कोरिलेटेड थी नो कल दो वेरिएबल्स टर्म्स के लॉजिकल रिलेशनशिप चे कल मुंगो टेस्टिफाई कवल वाड़ो दैट इज कॉल्ड हाइपोथेसिस. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now for a definition a hypothesis can be defined as a logically speculated sexual relationship between two or more variables expressed in the form of testable statement. Logura the testable sakade that is not confirmed yet. Aya really job enrichment leads to higher job satisfaction matlab aya da waqi khabar da job enrichment siwa kigi no this about employee job satisfaction siwa kigi sexual that is yet not confirmed da mung test ko सही हुआ so that is simply known as your hypothesis या hypothesis statement या development of hypothesis वोरा बिया दलता हुआ है SIS means single and SES that is multiple उस वोरा next question में next hypothesis जोड़ कर if rewards are offered the job satisfaction level will be high if का organization rewards offer कई employee ला so job satisfaction हम सेवा कीगी simply stated सूरा reward सेवा कीगी और असा so job satisfaction हम सेवा कीगी. Next hypothesis organizational performance या performance is affected by job enrichment through satisfaction. मतलब organization performance, it depends upon on the job enrichment, is it? And the job enrichment is basically affected by your employee satisfaction. Simply stated, da gora organization performance da masara dependent variable de, job enrichment independent variable de. मतलब dependent variable and independent variable, they are interconnected. लेकिन दे terms के we have another intervening variable, that is satisfaction. जिस छोरा your employee satisfaction वो गोरा simple job enrichment independent variable चिदा सिवाशी no employee satisfaction वो सिवा की सही हुआ. जिस छोरा employee satisfaction intervening variable सिवा की और organizational performance सिवा की. It means this satisfaction is an intervening mediating सही हुआ या temporal effect. No, organization performance is basically depend on the job enrichment, but clear in between these two we have another variable which is satisfaction. Satisfaction means employee satisfaction. Nugura shuru ki maasa huwe je hypothesis sita hui. Hypothesis simply means a statement between that statement, a testable statement. You das statement, you das waina che mung testify kawal wadu. Se testify kawal wadu che kala variables yo balsara connected. सही हुआ. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we have different formats of hypothesis statement. Simply state that come to slide them, that's the way. That way chikalamu hypothesis liku develop ko. Now hypothesis likalo different formats, different styles. Now we have the different styles clear to writing down the hypothesis. Your number one style there, that is different between groups. Kura different between groups. Dwa group termans के चकम difference है सचवा अगर style के hypothesis लिखल. Example सर अब direct explain करम चिता तो idea clear शी. Kura there is difference between the motivation level of men and women. Kura मतलब तो वक्त हम एक example दर करा कि we have two groups. One is the group of men, one is the group of women. सही हुआ. यो डाला the men हुआ यो डला दा वुमेन शो उस दे द्वारो डलो मुंगा यो वेरिएबल स्टडी को and that variable is motivation level. This is why there is a difference between motivation चे men motivation level और women motivation level दे terms के फर्क दे. अब दा मुंगा ना दा पता चे फर्क सिरे लेकिन सिर्फ दा में वाइना उकला चे दरो terms के फर्क दे. नो सादा अल्फाज के मतलब men motivation level and women motivation level they are not equal. वली चे there is a फर्क difference. सही हुआ. नो कल चपा दे अंदाज की मुंगा लिखू कि there is a difference between the motivation level of men and women या men and women motivation level clear they are not equal. Simply that chikam style there, that is simply known as your difference between group style. Hope inshallah bit idea will be clear. Yeah, we have relationship between variables. उस दा आगा तरीका दा आगा फॉर्मेट थे कि variables तरमन के सिर्फ और सिर्फ मुंगा relationship clear को. Like for example sanga there is a relationship between age and job satisfaction. Zewayama che employee age or employee job satisfaction they terms के से relationship थे. उस पूरा दलता लगे जैसे direction सही हुआ या for example से लगे next explain कोमा the non-directional basically. बस सिर्फ वयमा age और job satisfaction दा यो बल सरा सही हुआ connected दी. उस दा ना वयमा che आया दा positive connected दी negative connected दी direct relationship के दे indirect relationship के no. बस सिर्फ दा वयमा there is a relationship between age and job satisfaction. चे age और job satisfaction के स relationship शता दे. नो कला variable terms के चे कम मुंगा for example your relationship only show को direction ने show को. This style is known as your relationship between variable style. ब्याह दे proposition style. कोना proposition style. Proposition style और if then else style. दा तकरीबन यो रकम दे. If then else style सिर्फ F ना start शी बस पूरा proposition style. Proposition style से वही employees who are more healthy will take sick leaves less frequently. नूर example है तासो book की कते शी दा सिर्फ माता तुला यो example निकले है तासो idea सिर्फ clear शी. दा वही proposition style चे employees who are more healthy. आगा employees चे आगा देर ज़्यादा healthy दी सेहत की खरी will take sick leaves less frequently. No खामखा अब रुखसतें डेरे कम याली. आगा employees चे कम employees सेहत के खरी सही अब रुखसतें sick leaves चले अब कम याली. उस अंदाज़ा खबरा चले मुंगा if style कम निकले चु. If employees are more healthy, if ka tasu employee dir zyad khay sehat ke, then they will take sick leaves less frequently. Sahi shwa like that tasu wayama, if employees are rewarded they will be happy. Sahi shwa bara da wele shama, employees who are rewarded they will be happy. Or landi biaz wele shama, if employees are rewarded high they will be more happy. Is it? अंदा यो स्टेटमेंट दे चिकला सादा अल्फाज के लिखू नगे तो प्रोपोजिशन स्टाइल वही और चिकला मुंगा बेरसरा इफ उलगो एंड दैट इज नोन एज इफ देन एल्स स्टाइल. होप इंशाल्लाह a bit idea will be clear. Now the next we have directional hypothesis and indirectional hypothesis. Yeah, directional hypothesis awal directional hypothesis guru by the name it is clear directional hypothesis. यो दासे hypothesis चे कम के मुंग तो यो direction गिवनी. Direction mean यो hint गिवनी. सही हुआ यो सिम्त मुंग तो क्लियरी. मुंग तो पके दा क्लियरी चे आया variables positive connected दी या negatively connected दी. मतलब directly connected दी या indirectly simply connected दी. So the direction of the relationship between the variables is indicated, is given. Like a sanga, ore. The greater the stress experienced in the job, the lower the job satisfaction of employees. Gura अवल दी के दो वेरिएबल एक्सप्लेन शवी दी. यो दिस तासु सरा एम्प्लॉई स्ट्रेस तासु सरा यो वेरिएबल दे. सही हुआ और जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन चिकम दे दा बल वेरिएबल दे. मतलब स्ट्रेस इज अ सिंगल वेरिएबल, satisfaction is another variable. Both variables are connected, is it? This connection has a direction. When I'm saying the greater the stress, it means when the employee will feel higher stress. उसका सासो दलता लग फिक्र कई नगुरा the greater the stress the higher the stress सही हुआ and lower the job satisfaction. मतलब यो वेरिएबल लगे greater increase कीगी, बल वेरिएबल लगे lower कीगी कमीगी. ची स्ट्रेस फिशार एम्प्लॉय सूरब सिवा कीगी, one is increasing, job satisfaction will be decreasing. It means that they have a direction that what is increasing another is decreasing. सही हुआ. So they are basically indirectly connected. Then women are more motivated than men. Simply the age and job satisfaction are negative related. Say negative related अंदागा मतलब कि सूरा age कम दे for example आज़ियाती की satisfactions clear आकीदेशी आगाज़ियाती आकीदेशी आगा कम शे. So they have a direction. Simply stated. No आगा variable आगा hypothesis कि where the direction is explained. Either they are positively connected, दोड़ा लगे यो सिम कीजिए का दोड़ा लगे फॉर एग्जांपल नेगेटिव सिम की अपवर्ड मोबिलिटी के रवान दी का फॉर एग्जांपल लोअर मोबिलिटी के रवान दी. सो दैट hypotheses are simply known as your directional hypothesis. And then we have such indirectional hypothesis, या sometimes it is known as non-directional hypothesis. सादा को example दे concept दे. Non-direction चिकम के direction not given. There are no indication of direction of the relationship between variables. मतलब variables that's a hypothesis that variables are given, the connection is given, लेकिन this is not indicated that in which direction these are connected. या देख के terms के सर relationship थे positive negative दा पके given न दे, बस सादा होने concept हुई. Like for examples of non-directional hypothesis, there is a relationship between age and job satisfaction. Like ऐसे तासा हुआ है जो पूरा age और job satisfaction दे terms की relationship थे. उस दा नदी गिवन एज सही हुआ दा देना हुआ यामा ची एज सिवा कीगी नो विल सरा सेटिस्फेक्शन हम सिवा कीगी या एज सिवा कीगी सेटिस्फेक्शन कमीगी. दा खबर न कोमा ची one is increasing another one is decreasing या one is decreasing another one is increasing. I'm not talking about positive or negative relationship. I'm just saying that both are connected, both are correlated. Simply there is a relationship between सही हुआ age and job satisfaction correlated थी direction पके नष्ट है. That is known as non-directional hypothesis. ब्याज है वो there is a difference between the work ethic values of American and Arabian employees. मतलब American employees और Arabian employees दा चिक्चर तकार के नो दे work style के work ethics के दे there difference है. उसको ना दलता लगी से दा explain को मचे आया Americans are more better than Arabian या Arabian are more better than American. No सही हुआ जिस सिर्फ वाया मा ची दे terms के difference है. सही हुआ उस दा लगी next explain को मचे कम यो खदे बस मां सिर्फ हुए ची दे terms के difference है. Again a non-directional hypothesis. Then the third we have there is a difference between motivation level of men and women. Already माता सुल explain कर जो motivation level of men and women दे terms के फर्क थे. دلته لګي زه دا نه ایکسپلین کوم چې آیا men motivation level سیوا دی women نه یا women motivation level سیوا دی men نه. No, there is no direction. just صرف زه لا وایم there is a difference چې فرق دی. صحیح شو؟ So all are simply known as your non-directional hypothesis. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Then we have null and alternative hypothesis. Inshallah रातून के स्लाइडों के या रातून के इंशाल्लाह लेक्चर्स के नल एंड अल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस दाबस तासुला डिटेल के हम क्लियर कमा लेकिन दलता थ्योरेटिकल अप्रोच थे दाबस सिर्फ और सिर्फ तासुला थ्योरेटिकल एक्सप्लेन कमा कि नल सदे एंड अल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस है कल इंशाल्लाह स्टैटिस्टिकल पोर्शन शुरू कमा देन आई विल एक्सप्लेन इनटू डिटेल. Even already we have studied these things in inferential statistics. Chigora chikala hum mung testify kawal wadu hypothesis, so we want to put the hypothesis clear into some statements, into some formats, and these are known as, number one is known as your null hypothesis and another is known as your alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a proposition, logically relationship of variables that states a definitive exact relationship between two variables. मतलब कल हम जो वेरिएबल तमन की मुंगा रिलेशनशिप टेस्टिफाई कवल वाड़ू सही हुआ आ हमेशा मुंगा नल हाइपोथेसिस की कीदू सही हुआ या नल हाइपोथेसिस इज अ स्टेटमेंट सही हुआ एज अ हाइपोथेसिस दैट वेयर वी एग्जैक्टली वांट टू टेस्ट द हाइपोथेसिस इज नोन एज योर नल हाइपोथेसिस. इट स्टेट्स दैट द पॉपुलेशन कोरिलेशन बिटवीन टू वेरिएबल्स इज इक्वल टू 0. नल हाइपोथेसिस जो कम दे दा हमेशा सही हुआ definite numbers ना या simply logically दा हमेशा significant ना इस्तेमालेगी मतलब there is no significant difference. दो चीज़ों ने दी ज़वाम दो के difference नश्ता दे सही हुआ मतलब average of men equal to average of women या average of men minus average of women equal to 0 दोड़ा बराबर दी नो हमेशा कि no significant relationship ही आगा हमेशा null के इस्तेफादा कीगी. In general the null hypothesis is expressed as no significant difference between two groups जिसंगा मासास तो हुए. And another we have alternative hypothesis. Alternative हमेशा चिकम दे दादे null opposite दे सही हुआ मुतबादिल चिकला हम मुंगा से टेस्ट कवल वाड़ू we have to place in the null hypothesis सही हुआ and null hypothesis opposite चिकम hypothesis that is known as your alternate hypothesis. Now alternate hypothesis is the way the alternate hypothesis is the opposite of the null hypothesis. It's a statement expressing a relationship between two variables or indicating differences between groups. Simply mean null के मुंगा वायु च दो ग्रुप तरमन के difference नश्तरे सही हुआ और दलता मुंगा वायु कि दो ग्रुप तरमन के रिलेशनशिप श्तरे not equal to 0 simply stated. So the null hypotheses are formed with the objective of rejection. संगा च सासा हुए असल के whatever the hypothesis we want to study we want to test हम basically rejection दे पारा टेस्ट को नो ज़का null hypothesis च कम दे आहा हमेशा rejection statement दे पारा दहा कीगी solve की ही. As when we reject the null hypothesis, then all other alternative hypotheses can be supported. जिसंगा सासो null hypothesis reject ही automatically alternative hypothesis सासो accept ही. If you remember, inferential statistics के numerically, statistically the total null and alternative hypothesis दा मुंगे study करी हम दी. इंशाल्लाह रातून के स्लाइडों के चकला statistical portion शुरू कमा दावत तासुला detail के इंशाल्लाह explain हम कम दोबारा. दत्त सिर्फ यो overview में दर करो कि what is null hypothesis and what is your alternative hypothesis. Now whatever we have theoretically studied जो hypothesis से तो वही सही हुआ hypothesis बसंगा जुड़ीगी अगर process से दे चावल बमुंगा literature review लगो गुरु बिया बमुंगा variables identify को सही हुआ बिया यो schematic diagram जोड़ को बिया बस research question ही जोड़ी को और बिया direct चिकम दे hypothesis भी जोड़ को उस जितना सोला जो exercise हल को वाला दर कोमा बल्कि जब यह खपल explain हम कमा सही हुआ exercise दादे दा में book ना राखस से दे कि we want to make a theoretical framework and then we want to develop some hypothesis. Simply stated, this is a hypothesis study कवल वाड़ा. अब hypothesis पारा मासर दा statement दे दा कम चमा book ना राखस दे that people high in their need for achievement. Good. People high in their need for achievement. No good the need for achievement दा मासर यो variable दे and who have high Protestant work ethics values. The masara work ethic values another variables they will be highly motivated to work. Aga kasan चाहे need for achievement सही हो मतलब the achieve cover तरला सा cover हो चक्कम need दे और value ethics सही हो the second variable दे कता चो गुरी न द द्वारा मुंग सरा independent variables दे नो आगा खलको के चा के for example need for achievement or work ethic values सही हो ज़्यादा will be highly motivated to work. No आगा खलक वो सही वाला job के डेर ज़्यादा motivated ही. When they get motivated, they also slowly become involved in their job. मतलब आगा खलक chichake and achievement matlab need for achievement and work ethics सेवाई they people are more motivated सही हुआ नो मोटिवेशन दल तमुंग सर यो बल वेरिएबल दे अगर खलक च ढेर ज़्यादा मोटिवेटेड दी नो अगर खपल जॉबों के ढेर ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व भी दैट इज नोन एज योर जॉब इन्वॉल्वमेंट मतलब टोटल थलोर वेरिएबल सी यो दे स्टार्ट सर जॉब इन्वॉल्वमेंट सही हुआ जॉब इन्वॉल्वमेंट डिपेंड्स अपॉन ऑन द नीड फॉर अचीवमेंट and on the work ethics no need for achievement and work ethics values da masara independent variable shwe aw job involvement chikam de da masara independent variable show us de termins ke I have a mediating variable that is motivation simply stated no usko da yo let's review us there just to make you idea clear baki bhi inshallah ki uru awada always da is theoretical framework de sa ma identify need achievement independent variable and work ethic values again independent variables are two independent variables that would account for the variance in the dependent variable of interest job involvement like ma khabara che kama mata stokula che kura need achievement and work ethics da dwara independent variables thi aur da taasir leri pach mane job involvement mane no matlab job involvement se job involvement is known as your dependent variable in other words job involvement of an employee depends upon on need achievement and work ethic values this relationship could be better understood through the intervening variable motivation kisanga ma sa huye dasta susara yo bal motivation variable de chikkala ma da theoretical framework study krala after that gura masukrala I identified that which one are my independent variable which one is my dependent variable and which one is my mediating ya intervening variable no need for achievement and work ethics da zama independent variable de job involvement zama dependent variable de at the terms ke chikam variable de that is motivation aga zama mediating ya motivation variable de no theoretical framework identify me ko now logic clear pura need for achievement and work ethics was waki pura motivation was waki pura motivation waki pura job involvement plus waki logic clear ko how these are logically interconnected us next din the schematic diagram do so arrange was over the specific idea pura that is need for achievement variable short technical and there is work ethics both are known as your independent variable abura here that is known as job involvement is known as your dependent variable so job involvement is a dependent variable and it depends upon on independent variable up between dependent and independent variables we have another variable which is known as motivation and motivation clear das sara intervening ya mediating variable de which mediate the relationship of need for achievement with job involvement and which mediates clear the relationship of work ethics with job involvement hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear no aga shanti ta to research question hum joda wale shi sahi hua che motivation does motivation as an intervening variable clear has a impact clear on need for achievement and job involvement yeah in other words da wale shama che job involvement sahi hua it depends upon on the need for achievement through the motivation acting as a mediating intervening variable yeah what ethics become employee what ethics the person be more motivated the person be more